Hey everybody, it's Harry from Step Daddy Barbecue. Super excited to report to you from Wimberley, Texas. We're about an hour away from Austin. I'm here to hang out with my buddy Bill Dumas, who's the head pitmaster of the Creekside Cookers BBQ Restaurant. We're gonna show you guys how to do Texas barbecue from start to end. So this is the famous Moberg Pits, and that's the pit that everyone uses.
They like better than ours.
Huh?
Yeah, okay. So you started your pits around midnight.
I started very early, yes sir, that's correct, and then got them Cadillacing and doing what they needed to do, and then came back up here about 3:45 and onward and upward we go. I think here in about another hour we are going to rotate these. So what I do is I take this row out and everyone moves this direction, and then consequently this row
goes to the back. A little rotation, right? Okay.
And the reason why I do that is because of the way that the heat runs through this pit. It's a single grate system, so the entrance of the firebox in relationship to the way that the damper is down there from the firebox, the heat runs slightly above and slightly over this as a wave across these briskets, because this rack almost bisects directly the entrance to that stack.
Okay.
And of course the stack is also
out here
what determines the draw. If you kind of look down there, you can still see how efficient this pit is. See how that fire is still pulling in this direction?
Even though the door's open.
Even though the door's open.
Yeah, wow.
We're still pulling in this direction. So that's part and parcel why these pits are so popular. They just cook very evenly. There's several stages of the cook. There's raw, and then when you put the briskets on, you'll notice after about an hour it's like a limp dish rag. It's like, ugh.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of gross actually. And then it sets up, because it's a muscle, and because it interacts with the heat, it goes,
yes.
And it tightens up, and then the salt sets, and that's the melting point of the salt, which is where we're at now. And they'll Cadillac that for hours and hours and hours until we get to the internal temp, which is the point at which the fat melts, and that's usually what, about 200, 205 degrees.
Yep.
For stacking logs is you go a little teepee. Teepee style.
I do.
Teepee style.
And that's predominantly because this wood, if you'll feel it, feel the density of that log.
It's very hard.
So this is what you call post oak. What this is an indigenous species of white oak that only grows in central Texas east of the Balcones Escarpment. The Balcones Escarpment is basically a dividing point between East Texas, which is rolling hills, and the rocky hill country. We're in the hill country. This particular species of oak only grows east of the Balcones Escarpment down towards the Texas coast. This right here is another good stick of post oak. And the wood selection, consequently, as you're picking through the wood pile, is very important. Because if I put a great big old giant honking heavy piece of log right there, it's just going to suck the heat right out of the fire, because the energy is going to go towards trying to ignite that fire versus trying to go inside my pit. Law of thermodynamics. So I like to stack my wood like this. It just provides for better airflow and helps the wood catch faster. So anytime I go in and out of a pit, I feed the fire. That means that the recovery period inside the cooking chamber is less. These look terrible.
Wow. That's
Just
amazing.
in time for TV.
And just in time for the wow. Look at
That spray bottle. So these, they're still a little bit limber on the inside right here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna let these Cadillac a little bit longer.
Okay. All right.
These have been in here since, I don't know, about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Now you trim them or they come trimmed?
This is my rib trimmer, the Clayton trims them.
Clayton, this is called the Clayton trim.
Yeah, this is called, these are St. Louis ribs. Now, with these ribs, what I do, once they get to this stage, you see they've already set up and they've already got good coloration on them. What we don't want is we don't want them to get dark. So what I do is I kind of do a little rotation that looks something like this. Once I achieve the color that I want, I do this.
Oh, you flip it over.
I flip it over, and that more or less arrests some or most of the color formation. And then we get a nice even color across the top, or actually
and you can only do that once across set, because you flip it over, it's going to damage the crusting on one side, right? So
exactly.
Once you get to the point where it's kind of crusted up, you can flip it around and cook the backside a little bit, right?
Yes, sir. See that moisture boiling up out of the end? Yep. I just chunked a piece of pecan right there, and see the difference? All that sugar and sap and resin boiling out of the end of that pecan. That's also indicative of a piece of wood that might not be completely seasoned.
That's interesting. I've never seen that.
Yeah, that does happen, especially with pecan. Pecan will do that 9 times out of 10, unless you get it really, really seasoned. This is the kitchen right here, and this is Rose getting it all ready to go. Yeah. Rose, Harry
Hi, Rose.
Soo in the house.
Hi.
How are you?
Pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Okay.
Nice.
Donna.
This is where the wait staff, this is tea section.
Tea.
This leads out to the bar. We'll see that in a moment. Up this way. We'll come this way. Now we're getting to the heartbeat of where the customer's experience begins. Here's our menu. This is lunch menu. So remember, we have 2 services, right? We have lunch service, which runs 11 to 4. And then we shut down for an hour and reload at 5, change staff, and it becomes full service with barbecue by the pound, and then we have the full steak menu.
So then we started going to 4 days a week, and we were open till maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We were selling out in about 2 hours every day. So then when this opportunity came up in June or in May, this building, I jumped all over it. And so we've been open now officially for what? 3 weeks?
3 weeks now. Seems like 3 years.
I know. 3 weeks.
Those are in dog years.
Was it a restaurant before?
It was a restaurant. It was actually a Mexican restaurant, and over about a 3-month, 4-month period, we gutted the entire thing. Every single thing, the whole building, including the interior, was neon yellow. There was no furniture. There was no nothing, and so it was 7 days a week. Contractors here, minimum of 12 hours a day, as fast as I could get it done. Well, it's in my mind over the past 4 or 5 years. We have, I've kind of been thinking about what I wanted to do, and right. So it wasn't so much creating the idea; it was just implementing it. And so even down to the food, like for instance our steak stuff and our barbecue at night and the menu at night, it's always been something that's kind of been rumbling through my head. It's just been a matter of being able to implement it. So when we were able to implement it, it was extremely fast. There wasn't very much stuff that had to go on. Really the only thing that isn't new in this building is the floor.
Wow. Pretty cool, huh?
That's exhausting.
And out this way.
So
pretty cool.
We have this undercover
Nice.
here. We have live music. People like to eat outside in this neck of the woods, more so than anywhere I've ever seen. So we've really tried to cater it to families. We have areas out there for kids to play. A lot of friends and a lot of the community kind of came together to really help me push this past and through to the last step, because there was a lot of work that needed to be done. And the building itself had been neglected for years. And so, in fact, the internal of the building where the rock is, that was built in the mid-1800s, and over the years they've just expanded off of it. And so, but we're really fortunate, my old, just to be able to do this and to have it, like we're already having some growing pains as far as we feel this will be full in 3 hours, completely full.
Yeah.
So
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
All right, time for rotation, and you ready at 3:25 for probably about maybe 20-30 minutes.
Yeah.
Mark on it.
So what I do whenever I'm testing these things to see if they're done is if I can put my finger in there.
Put your finger in there. Little finger test.
We're done. But these are not there just yet.
And then what do you want your turkey to be? 165-ish?
In that neighborhood, and we're sitting at 162.
Now in the burn ends, you don't temp it, but you kind of go by look, right?
I kind of go by look and feel, just in respect to how they're rendering.
Okay.
So everyone's getting happy. No sense in getting stupid, right? But what we will do with these ribs is we will just kind of flip them around like this.
Okay. So while people are wondering why Bill can do that, he's wearing cotton gloves underneath his nitrile gloves. So that's a little trick that we use. You don't burn yourself. So Bill's not Superman. He's got some cotton gloves to help him out here.
Bone pull is looking good.
Yeah. So you're looking for about a ½ inch bone pull, and it kind of tells you when it's ready. Pointing now the base towards the back of the fire, rotating the turkey. Almost 165-ish.
So what you'll want to do, obviously, is take these and just for holding, I wrap these in foil.
Foil, okay.
Loosely, not tight.
Yeah.
Very loose in foil. See,
Alright, ribs are done, I think. Tell them how it's done here.
here, here's how I do it.
Okay.
If I can, because I don't remove the membrane.
Yeah.
If I do this and I
Yeah.
go through that middle bone,
Yes.
which I just did,
Yep. It's done.
done.
There you
And
go.
I also, if it would further confirm, you can take that little pinch right here
Pinch
between
here.
the bones.
Okay. There you go. Perfect.
Ooh, look at the bend on that one.
Nice.
That is done. That needs more time. I can just feel that.
Really
Feel
good.
that?
Yeah, after a while you can tell, right?
It's like, whoa, whoa.
And these are used for the tacos, right? So everybody gets one burn in a taco? Is that
Well,
right?
actually, we kind of fill up the taco. So maybe about 3 of these guys
Wow,
right
you get
here.
three burn-ins in a taco. That's a fantastic looking taco.
I'm just kind of feeling of these things. So
Yeah, you
I'm
can
making
really
sure
cut
that the fat is rendered.
Rendered.
I mean, look at that.
Flea and tick back.
Flea and tick bath. Look at that. Man, look at the color on that. That looks good. Man, I wonder who cooked them. Oh yeah, I did. So I like to wrap them loose like that. That way you don't, no one is getting their glaze or bark rubbed off.
So these are the seaboards, right?
Yes,
Seaboards,
sir.
seaboards.
Normally they're a little bit more thought out,
Thought out,
but
yeah.
I don't have time for that today.
So you trim bone number 1 off.
Some of them have this, some don't.
Yeah, the flap on the diaphragm. The diaphragm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they look pretty good trimmed to size. I mean, most of them you don't have to do too much to it.
No. No, they come 14 per box.
We use the Creek stones.
Yes,
really
sir.
good, really good beef.
Yeah, some of the best briskets I've ever seen.
All right, homemade sausages. You make them here or you make them somewhere else?
I make them right in here.
Have cheeseburgers. Cheeseburger balls ready to go.
Ready to go.
It's brisket fat, man.
Actually it is. So what we do is we take the brisket trim, when I'm trimming briskets, and I actually take that, and I can't just use it as it is because the patty will fall apart. So what I do is I take the ground up brisket and I mix it with 80-20 chuck, ground chuck. And then they're seasoned and seared on the flat top for use.
Fantastic.
So this is a jalapeno cheese sausage. So this is basically more or less a 60-40 grind. So it's 60% beef, 40% pork, and then we also have the smoked garlic and the roasted jalapenos inside this rascal, and then it's cheddar cheese. Good stuff. That's the jalapeno cheese made by Ainsley Taylor, aka the Sausage Queen. I mean, look at this. She ties these sausages and look at that. That is some finesse. This one is a good old school Central Texas style 100% beef sausage. So this is indicative of what you would find at most Central Texas meat markets back in the day, including today. So what this is brisket trim, raw, 100% with the assorted seasonings, and of course you got to get your fat ratio right. Sausage making is a lot like baking. You have to get every single component just right. One little variance and it messes up the whole batch.
Yeah, and then especially the salt. The salt is very crucial.
Oh, it's very
And you have to weigh the salt because eyeballing the salt won't work. You actually have to weigh the salt based on the amount of meat. Yeah.
Yes, you have to weigh every component. Correct. So These are consequently called double smoked.
double smoke. Okay, you
So-
smoked them once already, right?
Yep. So what you do, and Clay is already popping off the upright smoker out
Yeah.
there, getting it hot. And I got some raw product down here that she cased and linked yesterday. So what's going to happen is the raw product will hit the smoker and just kind of cruise along at about 150 to 175 degrees in post oak and pecan smoke, and into an internal temp of 150-ish degrees. And then they come out, they get cooled off, and they come back in here to the walk-in. From there, they are stored, and when I need them, I will take them back out to the 1,000-gallon pit, high temp, and get them again to 150 degrees internal. What does that do? Well, that does two things. One, it preserves the sausage. It provides the first initial smoke, which adds, has not only as a preservative, but actual smoke has a flavoring, but it also helps in respect to the casing. By doing that, that's what provides the snap on the casing.
Double smoke, right?
That's
Nice
what
snap.
you're looking for.
Wow.
These are roughly about an hour. I get them on at about 10 o'clock every morning. That way it gives me plenty of room just in case.
And these are
something
already
happens.
cooked, so it's okay, right? I mean, this is single smoke, second smoke.
Second smoke. What we have here is just your traditional Texas barbecue platter, served family style. So with that in mind, we have a little mix of brisket, both lean and moist. So this would be the moist brisket that's cut from the heart of the brisket in the middle as well as the point. This would be the lean. We have smoked turkey breast. We have both of our house-made sausages. This is the beef sausage, and this is the jalapeno cheese sausage. And these are the St. Louis cut pork ribs that we made as well this morning, along with the usual condiments of pickled jalapenos, red onions, and pickles. So yeah, this is what we've been working hard on for about 2 days now, actually. Start to finish for this platter is 2 days. So I hope you guys enjoy, and from my house to yours, enjoy.
It's been a great time hanging out with Bill Dumas, so I'm gonna let Bill Dumas tell you guys how to find his place.
Howdy friends, how y'all doing out there? Glad Harry Soo came out today. We are located at 500 River Road in the beautiful Texas Hill Country of Wimberley, Texas. So I hope all you guys out there on the interweb or wherever you're viewing this will come on out and see us, because we're ready to serve you. Thank
All
you.
right. See you guys next time.